Now, you know I gotta ask, man. You brought up Chris Paul. You brought up how he'd do anything to win. I remember giving you that shot. I remember giving you that shot, brother.
I used to talk a lot of trash to his backcourt teammate, Justin Gray. But yeah, Chris got me. You know, I was boxing him out, and it was his way to get an advantage, and he ended up hitting the game winner that game. So it just shows a competitor he was and the way he stayed locked in mentally.
So there's a rumor that was said that you didn't want to play for Denver, and you kind of tanked the workouts. Any of that true?
Actually, during my NBA draft process, I tore my meniscus.
No,
I did not want to play for George Karl. No,
yeah,
I did not.
And
history shows that I'm right? Yeah. Everyone, the way his players talk about him, that's not the type of dude I would want to be around his energy. I'll put it that way.
Who had the best work ethic that you saw that people be surprised about?
Michael Ray. He would come in before every game and make 500 shots. In games at 7:30, he's making 500 shots. Like, goes hard every day. Same routine. That's why he's such a great shooter. Played on Team USA, won a gold medal. Tremendous player.
What's up, scorers? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a very, very special guest. So this is I ain't gonna hold you. I'm excited about this. I'm really excited about this. I watched this guy growing up. But before we get into it, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. We want to keep boosting the channel. But like I was saying, this guy I watched growing up. He inspired me to put the t-shirt on my jersey. New York's finest, played for NC State top dog, man. Please welcome Julius Hodge, but we're going to call him Coach Hodge. What's up, my dog?
For sure. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Sean.
No, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you doing the interview, bro. Like I said, man, one of the guys I definitely admire. One of the reasons why I admired you, because I was a thin man back in the day. You know, I was thin, and you know, a guy like yourself, you was thin too. Hey, but you was a baller, you was a hooper. So I was like, you know what, man, it is room for guys like me.
Absolutely, man. Definitely.
So you from New York, right? You from Harlem?
Yep.
Right.
Harlem, New York City.
Harlem, New York City. Shout out to Harlem, man. And you chose NC State. Why you choose NC State over the places like Syracuse?
Well, I grew up a huge Syracuse fan, right? Rest in peace to Lawrence Moten. I grew up watching him play. Tremendous player. He wore the T-shirt as well, right? Him and Kerry Kittles, right? So yeah. I can't say I originated it, right? But, you know, I was following the forefathers. But when it came down to my recruitment, our head coach at the time at NC State, Herb Sendek, I mean, he probably watched me play that summer before my senior year, over 100 games. At that time, the NCAA was allowing coaches to be out every single day during the summer, right? It wasn't just live period. So he was able to do his homework, and he really worked hard for my commitment. And when I went to NC State on my visit, it just felt like home.
Nice. Excuse me. So you played at NC State. You played with some top dogs. You played against some top dogs. I'm talking about guys like Jared Jack, Chris Bosh, Chris Paul, J.J. Redick, Rashad McCants, Josh Howard, Lau Deng. And one of the seasons, you was actually number 2 in scoring. But what was one of the toughest players you played against out of your run at NC State?
Chris Paul, obviously. He would do whatever it takes to win. Huge competitor. Raymond Felton over at UNC. Marvin Williams, they had him over there. Chris Bosh was over at Georgia Tech.
Facts.
I mean, Juan Dixon was really tough to defend. I was a freshman his senior year, but he was just so elusive and
Merlin.
And great, great scorer making ability. So it was some really good players. Rashad McCants at UNC as well. Jared Jack was also really tough. So it was a handful of guys. I always had a lot of fun. Not saying he was easy to play against, but against Josh Howard, because I'll give him a bucket, then he'll give me a bucket.
Yeah, he was tough too. Wake Forest.
Back and forth. Absolutely. So ACC has some really great talent back then.
Now, you know, I got to ask, man, you brought up Chris Paul. You brought up how he'd do anything to win. And I remember giving you that shot. I remember giving you that shot, brother. What was that about? I know I saw an interview where he did with Carmelo Anthony. He talked about, I guess it was some trash talking between you and him. And I think the crowd was chanting something about his grandfather, who recently had passed away at that time. What was it from your standpoint?
I wasn't talking trash to him. He was actually my favorite player in the ACC at the time.
Mm,
Obviously not in front of myself, but second to me. I used to love playing him play. So I never talked trash to him. I used to talk a lot of trash to his backcourt teammate Justin Gray, just
uh,
because he's 6'3" guard, could fill it up, get hot really fast, could really shoot the ball. So I would go back and forth with him, but never with Chris. But yeah, Chris got me. I was boxing him out, and it was his way to get an advantage. And he had a low moment, right? It happens to all of us. But the thing about it is he continued playing and he ended
mm-hmm,
up hitting the game winner that game.
mm.
The beat us, which was on my senior night. Everybody in the crowd had my bobblehead. So it
Wow.
just shows the competitor he was and the way he stayed locked in mentally.
Got you. Did y'all ever talk about that incident?
I bumped into him a couple times after that, like shortly after the draft. But I knew where it was coming from. I just didn't like that he did it to me. Right?
Right,
I know
right.
where it comes from. You do whatever it takes to win. But that's old stuff. I never held that against him. He's a competitor like myself.
Got you. So, what's one of your most memorable moments at NC State? Because I know I remember the time you hit that game winner against Connecticut, and Connecticut, one of my favorite teams. They had one of my favorite coaches when it comes to college basketball.
That's right.
What was one of your greatest moments?
One of my best moments, I would say, would be we beat Duke one year. We used to beat them when they'll come play us out at our place, and they were the number one team in the country. And I had my nephew on my shoulder. I know he's looking down from heaven on us right
Mm.
now. But that was just a tremendous moment for me. I love that moment.
Wow, wow, that's so. So you did your thing at NC State. Do you have any regrets? Like, do you have anything like, yeah, man, if I were to do it all over again, I would have did this? Because I think players should hear the regrets of it, so they don't have them same regrets later on.
I don't have any regrets. Like I said, Syracuse was my, childhood school, the university I wanted to attend growing up, and they had a knucklehead around me for 10 minutes, and he ruined it
Mm-hmm.
for left us in a room. It's a couple of women. He was trying to do the man. What's the movie? He got
You got
game,
game.
right, with Ray Allen. He was trying to maneuver one of those moments, and I'm a young pup. I was 16 years old going on my official visit, and it was a knucklehead with me for 10 minutes, and that's literally the reason why I didn't go to Syracuse. But I'm
Got
still
you.
a fan of the university. So in terms of regrets with me making my decision, absolutely not. I ended up meeting my future wife over at while I was at NC State.
Good for you.
Summer going into my senior year, and I have great memories, and I love being a alum of the Wolfpack.
Nice, nice. Did you? So you came out. When did you come out for the draft? Your senior year, right? You went 4 years
My senior year, yes,
after your
yes.
senior year,
So
but
I
you was
flirted with it my junior year, but I stayed.
yeah, yeah. Because I thought you was gonna go. I think that was just the year you averaged. You was number two in the ACC in scoring. Your
That's
junior
right.
year.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I thought you was gonna go. What made you go back to NC State?
I loved it there, man. North Carolina, I'm a New York City guy, Harlem through and through, but I
Yeah.
consider North Carolina a home away from home. And I really enjoyed my time there.
Hmm.
Our head coach, Coach Sendek, great guy to this day, still one of my mentors. And, I wanted to run it back and come back another year. And I'm happy I did. We made some great memories, got to a Sweet 16, won a lot of games, and now I go down in history, right, as one of NC State's greats.
Big facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Third all time in a scoring list behind David Thompson.
Hmm.
Uh, and the thing about it is nowadays guys aren't going to school for 4 years, right?
Very
So a
true.
lot of my records they'll never get broken. And nobody else in NC State
Best
history
way to look
scored
at it. That's the
2,000
best
points
way
in
to
the
look at
ACC. It's not
it.
going to happen. No one stays at one place for 4 years. So
Yeah.
that's actually a cool part about it as well.
Man, that's love. That's dope, though. That's a great way to look at it too.
Mhm.
So you was drafted 20 overall to the Denver Nuggets. Now let me ask you: do you feel like you could have went higher? Do you feel like it was the right spot for you during that year?
Oh no, it's the right spot for me.
Good.
Absolutely. I thought I was going 17, I believe, to the Indiana Pacers. They end up getting Danny Granger, I believe, because he fell out the lottery. And then I knew I wasn't going to get past number 19 with Memphis. Jerry West was sneaking into my practices, him and Larry Bird my senior year, and watching from the top of the now PNC Arena and the city after a tough loss, how I respond and how I practice. And those guys really loved me. But Memphis ended up getting Hakeem Warwick.
Yes.
And then my
Another Philly native.
Absolutely. Terrific play as well. And then Denver had me at 20, and I knew Kiki Vanderway was a huge fan. I went down there for a draft workout, and I thought George Karl wasn't impressed. And come to find out he really wasn't. But 2 out of the 6 in the room wanted me, so I was chosen.
So it's a rumor that was said that you didn't want to play for Denver and you kind of tanked the workouts because of that. Is that any of that true?
I didn't tank the workouts. I actually, during my NBA draft process, I tore my meniscus. So me and my agent had to keep it a secret because at the time, even though it's only a torn meniscus, which is nothing, right, on the scale of injuries, it would have pushed me out of the first round. So when I went there, I actually had a torn meniscus, and I played on it my first NBA Summer League as well.
Gotcha.
No, I did not want to play for George Karl. No, I did not.
And that was my next question.
And history shows that I'm right? Everyone, the way his players talk about him, that's not the type of dude I would want to be around. His energy, I'll put it that way.
That's what I was trying to get to, because a couple more, obviously, other players have said it. Kenyon Martin been on record saying, Carmelo Anthony been on record saying that. I thought George Karl was a decent coach, as far, at least when it comes to defense. He had a good run with the Milwaukee Bucks back when that run with Allen Iverson, or 2001, I believe. I thought he should have went further with the Denver Nuggets when you guys were on there, when Melo, Kenyon Martin, and Camby.
We had all the talent in the NBA.
For sure.
J.R. Smith, Iverson, we were stacked. Earl Watson was coming deep off the bench. Linus Glazer. I mean, we were stacked. But Shaw Leonard, there was Andre Miller, Earl Boykins. It was ridiculous.
Man, yeah. So how? I was doing a lot of arguing for y'all back in the day, bro, against the Denver versus Lakers, bro. I was doing a lot of arguing for y'all, man. What's so challenging about playing for George Karl?
How do I put this? See, the thing with me is I'm brutally honest, right? So my mind is thinking of a way to be politically correct. Right?
I don't think you need to be, brother. We on the Real Hooper Show, man. We Score Society, bro.
I understand that, man. I'll just put it this way. From my vantage point, George Karl just is not a good person.
Okay.
He is not.
Fair enough.
I would say that. And the thing with me is he would have his son. So at the time, his son, Kobe Karl, would come work out, right, with the team or whatever. At the time, he was going to Boise State. And he was like a couple years older than me. But I used to tear him up. And I would literally be in there like, yeah, I know your dad not going to play me, but I'm going to whoop your A every single time you're on this court. You can't guard me, you soft. Like, I'm just giving it to him, taking it out on him because his dad wouldn't play me.
Right.
So, obviously Pops wouldn't like that, right? But no, I didn't ever think that George Karl's a good person. I have one story where I was speaking with him after the season. I was like, hey, what do I have to do to have a better opportunity of getting on the court next season? And he said, you know what, I just been reading books on, relations between African Americans and Caucasians, and I just don't get you people. Like, he's talking for like 10 minutes. And I was like, at the end of it, I said, what are you talking about right now? He's like, I'm just trying to relate, and I don't think I ever will. And I just looked at him. I said, okay, thanks, George. And I just walked out.
Wow.
But that's the type of dude he is. That's the person he is. And that's why, everything is coming back to him.
What's up, scorers? I know you guys are enjoying the interview. I just want to stop it to let you know that we got merch. We got merch. We got Brainwash Think Elite hoodies. We got shorts. We got hats. We got everything that you need as a hooper. So make sure you check us out at scoresociety.com. Welcome to Score Society. Let's get back to the interview. Now, do you think that hindered your success in the NBA? Because I was just talking to my guy, Greg Smith, and he talked about the relationship in the NBA where, you know, things start to pass on to other coaches and then, you know, they start to diminish a player. And so you're out of there. Do you think that hurt? You think that added to it?
I'm a big time accountability guy.
Okay.
I was not better than Earl Borkins or
Mm-hmm.
Andre Miller or Allen Iverson or
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Anthony or J.R. Smith. So I would likely say that's more so the reason why. In practice, I would say I got the best of a Greg Buckner, but
Okay.
Greg was a really good defender and he could make that corner three. And at the time, I couldn't shoot the ball a lick. DeMar
Mm.
Johnson, same, he can really shoot that ball. So I would look more so inward and say this was one of the first times where I wasn't, you know, one of the better players on the team, and I had to find a way to get on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very difficult. It is what it is.
Right. What was that old shit I'm in a league moment? When was that moment for you? Like, do you remember like, damn, I came to practice one day and they doing 360 dunks off of windmills or something like, I mean, off of oops or some shit like that.
I never had like that moment. In my mind, I knew I was going to the NBA when I was 11 years old, and I was the worst player on my sixth grade team. I
Mm.
just knew the work I was putting in, everybody else wasn't doing it. So I knew eventually that's where I would end up in the finish line. But I do remember a moment where I was like, dang, man, like, why don't they coach these guys? You know, why isn't everybody coached the same?
Mm-hmm.
It was when Iverson was traded to us. So, and I love AI. So he walks into practice. He has on Timberland boots,
Uh-huh.
shorts. He has on a long T-shirt, right? Practice jersey over, do rag and a chain on. So he comes in like he's walking on a he's walking on a couch like Charlie Murphy. You know, you know what I'm
I'm
saying? Like
dead.
he in there, like a
Oh
Dave
man,
Chappelle
it
skit.
sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. So he's dribbling the ball at half court. And he's like, George, like, all right, guys, let's start practice. He has on Timberland boots, right?
Uh-huh.
So he's like, all right, if I make this shot from half court, George, no practice. He
Mm.
shoots it, shoots an air ball,
Right.
gets it again, shoots a brick. He shoots the ball like 15 more times. He finally makes it, and he's like, that's it, guys, no practice. He walks out. So then Kenyon sees that, and Kenyon's like, oh, yeah, I'm up out of here. So then
Uh,
Melo's looking like, yo, you serious? Then everyone starts walking out, and I'm like literally the last one, and I'm looking at him like, I'm like, George, like, this is my game. I need to practice now. And then, like, George just gets red. He's flustered, and he's like, all right, Allen, no practice today. And I was like,
wow.
wow. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, the money, yeah, that's definitely different. That's
Hey,
definitely different.
that one that happened with, you know, Popovich, right?
No, for sure.
Pat Riley won't allow that, right? Phil Jackson, but, you know, it was what it was.
We got this segment called Brainwash to Think Elite. And in this segment we talk about how pretty much how you get over adversity, how you get over challenges.
Mhm.
I know you was involved in an incident out in Denver where you were shot.
Mhm.
Were you shot one time?
5 times.
You were shot
Five
five
times
times.
in my
What
lower extremities, my legs, my thighs. One grazed my stomach. My sedan was shot 30 plus times.
for what?
Just leaving a nightclub. It was a gang initiation night, and the first car on the highway they were going to shoot up. And I never stayed to the end. I
Uh-huh.
always would leave early, right?
Right.
You know, you go into there young in my 20s, you go in the club, you have fun, and then you get out early right before close.
Right.
And my car was the first one, so that's what happened.
Wow. They ever catch the guys? I didn't read too deep into it, but I remember that
Mm-hmm.
happened when I was young. Like I said, you was one of my favorite players, so I was following your career, and here you got shot. I didn't know you got shot five times. Um,
Yes, yes.
but you,
No,
but
no,
you,
no.
but you
Go ahead.
recovered though. And
Yeah, I did. I had a full
what,
recovery.
what was your mindset as far as like when you sitting in that hospital bed, you think about your NBA career, you just been shot for no reason. What is your mindset? What are you going through mentally, and how did you get over it?
So it was, I want to say a couple months earlier, where a football player from the Denver Broncos, his limousine was shot up, and unfortunately, he was hit in the neck and passed away.
Wow.
And it was literally like close where his incident happened was on the same block where I lived.
Mm,
So then when I got into my incident, my mind was everywhere. I was like, man, I don't know, does somebody have it out for athletes? What's
mm,
going on? I wasn't no gangbanger. I never smoked or drink in my life. I didn't party hard. I was always respectful to everyone. So at that time, when you're in recovery, you're thinking of it's either fight or flight. And, I was young and my mind was fight. So I'm going to protect myself. So I took all the necessary steps to make sure that I was fully protected. But when you're in that mindset, right, that's when
mm-hmm.
trouble could come your way.
Right.
So I definitely had my come to Jesus moment because I said, hey, most people who car gets shot up, 35 plus times, they don't make it.
God damn.
Right? They're now in the spiritual realm. So I had to count my blessings.
And that's crazy because you from Harlem, bro. And I'm from Philly. We right up the street from each other, so I already know how the environment is. And I actually went to school. I go to school in Denver. I went to school in Colorado, Adams State University. And
Gotcha.
you feel like you getting away from that. You feel like you're getting away from the hood stuff. And the
Yeah,
fact
yeah,
that
man. For it to happen out in Denver, Colorado,
it's
of all
crazy.
places, right, in the Rockies.
Well, I go
Um,
shit.
and just growing up in New York City, in crack cocaine era, you basically have addicts in the front of
Mm-hmm.
your home, right, on the roofs,
Mm-hmm.
every day asking for food. You see vials of cocaine and crack
Mm-hmm.
on the sidewalks. Red tops, blue tops, green tops, pink tops, all
Yep.
all of the
I
sort.
remember it. I remember it.
Um, and to be able to withstand that, and not just withstand it, but become successful living in that area, right, and that upbringing, and then you're going out and you're in the NBA, and your dream come true, and then you go to a club where, hey, maybe I shouldn't have been out
Mm-hmm.
at 11:30 midnight, right? Nothing good happens unless it's a good time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I shouldn't have been out there. So I'm really big on looking in the mirror, right?
Yep.
If I wasn't out there, then I wouldn't have been in that position. But since I was out there past midnight, then that's what happens.
Oh, man. Well, I'm happy you recover, obviously.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
let's switch gears a little bit. Let's get over to your overseas career. I know you won some championships over there. I think you won a championship over in China, right?
Yep, won a championship in China, Finals MVP. I won a championship in Paris, where
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
actually teamed up with two former UNC ball players, Sean May and Jawar
Yep.
Williams.
I remember
Um,
Sean May. Got
yeah,
drafted to
yeah.
the Bobcats. I remember him.
There you go. There
Mm-hmm.
you go. A bucket,
Yep.
mid range. Me and him in that pick and roll. I hit him on that short roll. That was a dime. A dime was happening. Right. I also won a championship when I played in Eastern Europe in Minsk, Belarus.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been to a lot of places. Was able to explore the world, and I loved it.
Man, you was a rebel, bro. You was a rebel over there, man. What happened with the stamping on the
Yeah,
what happened on the stamping on the 66ers logo? Why you? I saw that
yeah,
video last night,
yeah.
and I'm like, yo, why he was so hot that day?
Yeah. So the story behind that is, Adelaide and Melbourne, the Melbourne Tigers, Adelaide 36ers and the Melbourne Tigers were rivals.
Okay.
And I had played the previous two seasons for Adelaide.
Uh-huh.
And, the fans adored me. I was, everyone loved me there. I played well. And while I was still looking to get back in the NBA, that was, my second home away from home. They had a president or GM of their team
Mm-hmm.
who did my contract, and then basically they didn't pay me the
Mm-hmm.
money I was supposed to. So I left, and then when I came back the following season, I was on Melbourne. So that game was the first time I was playing back in Adelaide, and one of their great players, Adelaide, he's an Olympian for Australia, Brett Maher, who I played with in Adelaide the or prior 2 years. For 2 years, for the whole year, excuse me, he was saying that I don't know where Hodge get that from, and I don't know why he didn't play in the game. They were going to pay him. This is the way it goes overseas. But he didn't tell everybody that was his idea. So he's like, hey, man, if you don't get paid, hey, Hodge, you should sit out. It was his idea. So
Wow.
then when I finally do it, and then everything transpires, when I go back there to play that game, like 2 days before, he say, hey, guys, you know what? I'm the one that had that conversation with Hodge, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, you wait a whole year. All these fans are all riled up. And now you want to say the truth. So I was a little peed off.
Yeah,
To
man.
tell.
I ain't gonna. I would have been too. I would have been too. I hear so many
But
horror
it was
stories.
fun. Yeah, it was fun. We won the game. It was fun.
Yeah, no,
John
I saw
Gilchrist,
that.
a former ACC, great for Maryland. John Gilchrist was on Adelaide 36ers, and we got that win. So it felt good.
Yeah, man. I mean, but I would have been mad too. I hear so many horror stories about playing overseas, how they don't pay you, and I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
coming from a high level, you come from the NBA, and I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that was just a culture shock for you.
yeah,
So
professionalism, man.
yeah, so I
It's
don't blame you.
awesome. Yeah.
Before we get into your coaching career right now, I gotta go back because we gotta do like a comparison of players. But I couldn't do like any, you played with Carmelo Anthony. It's hard to compare him to a lot of players. So I gotta go like guys like Andrew Bogut versus like Marcus Camby. Which one was a better player for you from what you saw?
Marcus Camby, because he
Mm.
can pop and he can knock that shot down. But Bogey was a really good player as
Yeah, he
well. I
was.
played with him when I was on the Bucks, and we were the same year out of college. Both really, really good players.
Oh yeah,
But MC's my man, so I gotta go with MC.
yeah. The people I'm asking about, I only got one more question, but they all played. You played on y'all all played on the same teams at some point.
Yep.
Uh, Andre Miller or Mo Williams?
Ah, Mo's my dog. Dre is actually somebody I called. I was up for head coaching job in the G League last offseason, and I
Mm-hmm.
called Dre. And Dre is just a student of the game, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But Mo was a problem. I mean, Mo, man, he was my year out of high school. He was one of the first guys because I had a list of all the top guys in the country.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, James White, play against him. I cooked him. Josh Childress, cook him. I'm just going down the line, right? And then I ran into Mo, and Mo was like 20 something. And I was on I was rising up the rankings, and I ran into him, and I was like, nah, that dude right there, the truth. Like,
Hmm.
he for real. But to say I don't know, man. I go Ty. They both
So
were
you going to tie it?
really,
I'll
yeah,
let you rock
yeah,
out with that, bro. I like it.
for
Now,
sure.
last question about your NBA career: who had the best work ethic that you saw that people would probably be surprised about?
Michael
Uh,
Redd.
Michael Redd.
Michael Redd. When I was with the Bucks, he was actually injured the whole time. He only played in a couple of games, but he would come in before every game and make 500 shots.
Wow.
Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, games at 7:30. He's making 500 shots. Like
Dang.
his animalistic work ethic.
Mm.
Like goes hard every day. Same routine. That's why he's such a great shooter. Played on a Team USA, won a gold medal. Tremendous player.
No, and it definitely paid off for him because people didn't see Michael Redd being as good as he was.
That's
So
right.
yeah,
For sure.
so let's get into the coaching, man. So you've been coaching for a while. I looked it up. I mean, you coached with San Jose State, Buffalo University, Arkansas, Little Rock.
That's
What?
right.
And now you at Lincoln over in Pennsylvania.
That's right. Yep. Lincoln University in
What
PA.
have you learned as a coach that you wish you would have known as a player?
Ah, that is a really good question. Um, that's a good one. I guess I'll start with my journey. So I started at the University of Buffalo with Nate Oates,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, I'll do it from the vantage point of me being a former player and then coaching. So Nate Oates, that was his first head coaching job at the college level. And I was his player development coach. So I wasn't even technically an assistant coach. Danielle Marshall was also on that staff.
Shout out Donnell Marshall. I remember him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Great player.
Absolutely.
Great basketball mind. And Nate Oates said, "Hey, you know what, Jules, you're going to be my offensive coordinator." So I was coming up with the offensive schemes on how we're going to beat teams for every game when I was making $15,000 on the year.
Right.
So just having that responsibility was huge. I was still young, just finished playing, so I could also play in practice sometimes. I learned very quickly you can't go in there looking to be players' friends, because if
Yep.
you do that, like they're going to turn on you the moment they get pissed, right? So I was able to learn and pick that up. Then after that, I went to Santa Clara under my former college coach, Herb Sende. And I think with Herb, I knew how hard his staff was working behind the scenes, because they would come in with like this full-on bags under their eyes every day, could tell they're sleepy, wasn't able to go home to their families at night, and literally grinding, working a scout, watching film, because that's who Coach Sendek is. He is so detailed. So I get most of who I am as a coach from him, because he coached me for 4 years. And then I was on his staff, coaching staff for 2. Then I go over to John Prelou over at San Jose State. I was with him for 3 years. John being a former great player at Fordham. He's from New Jersey, Teaneck. And offensively, he can put it together. So he will have his offensive strategy set, the plays he want, but he will be able to put everything into drill form. So in practice, we're working basically 5-on-0, but the guys don't even know it. And then once we go to 5-on-0, everything is just ran so pristine, because it's like we're drilling it and working it every day. And he was able to do the same thing with his defensive scheme. So I picked a lot of that from Coach Prelo. So now we didn't win a lot of games at San Jose State, but I was able to pick that up. And then my 3 years with Coach Darrell Walker at the University of Arkansas Little Rock, when I first got there, we were the bottom of the league. And when I left, we were the champions. We were the top of our regular season championship. And just with Coach Walker, I was able to see from a former player perspective, and him being a coach for so long, in a timeout running an ATO is great with it. And that comes from being a former player. But I was also shown never go easy on these guys. You can't coddle them. Sometimes, because, you get some players who are the great debaters. They want to debate everything or question everything. It's, nope, be quiet, do what I just said, and you'll be able to do it the right way. So I was able to pick that up from Coach Walker. So when I was able to mesh all of that together, it worked for me and my coaching style.
Nice. So as a player, like I know for me as a player, because I coach as well, but I coach at I coach high school and whatnot, and I know for me, now that I'm a coach, I coach for 17 years now, and I learned like, damn, if I wish I could have slowed down as a player. Like I played with, for me as a player, I used to play with too much emotion. Like somebody score on me, I want to score back on them. I'm trying to go right back. I didn't understand. I didn't understand pace. I didn't understand pace of the game. I didn't understand like, yo, you don't have to
slow down, bro.
Slow down, man. So yeah, I mean, did you feel like, looking on your coaching career and what you know now, or the player you used to be, do you wish you could tell your younger self something like that? Like tell your younger self, yo, man, slow down, or work on this.
I think I always played at a good pace. You couldn't really speed me up unless I wanted to.
Right.
The one thing I would say, I started to take too much advice from other people in terms of shooting. So when I was in, high school, growing up, getting to the point where I became, a really good player and shooter, it was because I listened to my brother, and he told me exactly what to do, and everything else was blocked out. And I think the older I got, I started looking outward for advice. Kind of blew my jumper off completely. So I would say that if I could have had a conversation with my younger self, it's like, don't listen to other folks when it comes to your shooting.
Gotcha. Now, it's a long season. It's a long season for you guys, man. And I want to know, as a coach, what do you do to keep your team motivated? Because there's some ups and downs in this. How are you keeping them motivated? Is the stuff you're doing off the court? Is the stuff you're saying in the gym? What's your tactic?
I'm I tell them every day, be addicted to today. I am completely addicted to today. I'm not looking at yesterday. I don't care about tomorrow as much. I know if I'm staying disciplined, I'm being accountable, I'm respecting the game, and I'm persevering. I'm fighting adversity every day, that I am going to get better in the moment. It's the only thing that matters, right? 4 hours from now, it doesn't matter. Right now. So I tell our guys every day, you have to be addicted to today and remain disciplined. If you do that, you will continue to get better. And then it also helps when you have outside influences. Like we just had CIAA Media Day, and they picked this preseason 5th in the conference.
Dope.
To me, that's a slap in the face, right? So being able to come into practice and like, oh man, great move, good shot. Yeah, that's great for 5th in the conference.
Oh wow.
My coaches are on the side. Hey guys, they think we're the 5th best coaching staff in the conference. Managers, you're the 5th best. Is that good? No, it's not good. All right, let's get back.
Great way to motivate. I love it because I'm already motivated now, man. I don't like that my podcast not number one. Now I got to write that on the wall somewhere.
Man.
I heard
Step it up, bro.
So AAU, there's been a lot of talk about the AAU circuit, right? And about how how it changed over the years. I know for me, I also have a travel team or whatnot. And growing up, like it wasn't too many AAU teams. The only way you play AAU team is you was nice. You had to be nice. What do you think about the AAU circuit now? Like, do you even recruit from there, yourself?
I do.
Okay.
I recruit, but I'm not a guy that think it's Nike, EYBL, or nothing. Like, no, it's talent everywhere.
Right.
Those guys that's playing at the EYBL, they're going to be recruited. Some are going to be overly recruited just because of the circuit they're playing on. I like to think that I'm a really good talent evaluator. So, of course, I'm going to reach out to the parents. Parents are always going to say great things about their kids. So I know that. But what's the thing that sticks out where they're going to say, man, I really like them, but coach, when you get them, as long as you keep them motivated to work out, it's like, I got you. If he's not motivated to work out by himself, I don't want that player, right? Or I look at it as maybe I can help improve that young person in this area. But if walking through the door, they telling me, hey, this is his calling card, great potential, great ceiling, but you got to get him motivated. I don't want to coach that, right? I don't want to coach attitude. I don't want to coach, motivation. I want to be able to coach the get inside basketball in terms of, hey, this is what we're going to do strategy wise. This is how I could get you better in your body. This is how I can skill work you to get you better. But you have to have that personal drive and that passion.
Oh man, that's great to hear, because I know we talk about this all the time, man. Because most times a lot of coaches are coaching just that attitude, trying to get them in the gym, trying to keep them on the same team. Like, I know you got it tough because of NIL deals. Are you having a hard time like keeping guys on the team when it comes to that NIL deals and stuff?
Well, at our level, in the Division II level, the NIL is your athletic scholarship allotment. How much you get in terms of each player. So I do have to do some GMing and divvying up the money in the right way. So, sometimes if you're giving a guy and he knows that he's getting a full scholarship or damn near close to it, it's like, hey, man, you better put out. You got to put out while you're out here, bro. Like, do your job every single day. And I feel really confident because we have a real group of guys that they just want to get better. So if it's something they aren't doing, it's because I'm not coaching it the right way, or I need to coach it more. So I love to put the onus on me to help them get better so they can reach their goals.
That's solid. So you said they have y'all predicted at the 5th in the conference. What do you have yourself? What do you predict, and what should we expect from you guys this year?
I have no prediction.
No prediction
on where we should be. I just go with what is told to me. And if you're going to say 5th, you might as well either say we're 1st or last. Don't put me anywhere else. If you last, that is tremendous motivation for my guys. It's Christmas, right? If you say I'm 1st, then that's still motivation. Because are you really first? Because you got to be first every single day.
Yeah.
But to me, fifth is just it's a slap in the face. And honestly, my guys think the same way. But we will see. I don't know. Maybe they're right. One end of the year, I don't know. Or maybe they're dead wrong.
Got you. Well, listen, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna follow you guys. To follow your journey, man. I really appreciate it. One more question for you.
Yep.
Where you see your Knicks this year, brother? I heard you're a Knicks fan.
Oh, man. Yeah, I love my Knicks, of course, man. To the tune. I could see us. This might be our year, man. This might be our year. I don't want to sound like a crazy Dallas Cowboys fan, right? But I think this year for the Knicks, we can get to the finals, right? Obviously, we all saw that horrific injury with Halliburton and the Pacers, right? And they're the ones who took us out. So I think this could be the year for us, but we'll have to see. One thing about it, I know they're going to play some tough defense, right? That's always going to be what the Knicks do. So I can't wait to see it.
Dope, man. I'm with you on that. I got them finishing top. I think I got them finishing number one. I think my prediction yesterday was the number one. So I just don't think they. My only concern is that they're not deep enough. Like last year, I felt like they only had 5 guys. They was they was burnt out. But if they get like 1 or 2 more guys in that rotation, I mean they got Clarkson over there, but I think they need 1 more guy, at least someone down low.
Yeah, that's a good piece. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, either way, man, as Knicks fans, we're gonna be on our players anyway and our team anyway. Whether they doing good or bad, we're gonna be on them for more. So it's all good.
Oh man, my dog, man, I really appreciate your time. Where do you have anything coming up outside of coaching? Any books? Anything we should follow? Where can we follow you?
Well, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Coach Hodge 24. I'm on Twitter. I follow 24 Hodge. I do have some businesses outside of coaching as well. My wife is the CEO of our transportation services. We have 3 18-wheelers. As well as I have my own product development studio where we make smart devices. Name of our business is called Up5, me and my partner Aurelia. Things been going really well. So, my 5 years that I was in Silicon Valley, I made sure I linked up with someone that was brilliant, right? Who I can learn from and I can build something. So things are going good.
Got you, bro. Well, listen, man, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you doing this. Like I said, man, this is one of the interviews that I was extremely excited about because, like I said, you inspired a lot. And if you don't know it, you inspired a lot of guys, bro. And I'm one of them. So I appreciate your contribution to the basketball community. Good luck this season, and man, let's keep in touch, brother.
For sure, will do. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on.
There you have it, another great interview on Score Society channel. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, let's continue to think elite and together. Welcome to Score Society.